Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video. Now, this video, I'm going to talk about chow mein. Now, if you have never made chow mein before, or you have trouble making chow mein in the past, this video will provide you with some tips of how to make chow mein. Now, chow mein is very similar to fried rice, which known as chow fan. Both of them share many similarities. And to make chow mein, the first thing you need to do is that you need to boil some noodles. Now, there are many different kinds of noodles. In this video, I'm going to use regular spaghetti pasta noodles. It turned out that spaghetti pasta noodles work out really well for this purpose. Now you might wonder, is there a traditional Chinese noodle that you should use for making this Chinese dish? Now it turned out that noodles are noodles. They really do not make that much difference. In fact, I used to think pasta noodles only for making spaghetti meal, but actually that's not true at all. Pasta noodles can be used for any type of dish that you would like. And it actually turned out that pasta noodles work really well for making chow mein. Now, I'd start out first is boil the pasta noodle first. And this is exactly like we make fried rice. You need to cook the noodles first. And you need to store the noodles in order to get the noodle to dry out. So when you make chow mein, you will not find the noodles to stick to the bottom of the wok because you're going to fry it. And store them in the refrigerator is essential because that will dry out the noodles in such a way so that it will not stick. So when you make chow mein, you should never use the noodle freshly after you cook them, just like when you make fried rice. I boil the noodles in my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. The wok is perfect for this purpose because it has a very large capacity. I'm able to boil 2 pounds of pasta noodles, and I'm able to put the noodle directly into the wok without having to bend them. I boil the noodles until it's about 80% done, and to stop them from cooking further, I transfer them to a bowl of cold water to chill it. This is essential because you do not want the noodle to be overcooked. Once the noodle is ready, I will drain the water. Now, at this point, it is important that you do not let the noodle to sit for any longer period of time, because if you let it to sit too long, it's going to stick together and it will be very hard for you to separate and to transfer them into containers. So therefore, it is important that you let them sit only for about 5 to 6 minutes before you put them away. And it is not necessary to put anything on the noodles before you store them. I do not put any oil or salt, and you can store it the way exactly as it is, and it works very well. Now, I store the noodles in plastic containers. Now, in this particular case, the noodles that I actually show in this part of the video is not regular pasta noodles. They are actually angel hair pasta noodles, but they work out very well. And the storing in the plastic containers is an excellent way. I usually store about 3 cups of noodles in each of those plastic containers. And this is about the amount for about 2 individuals. Usually we will have a bit left over that I can use for lunch the next day. So here are 5 containers, and this represents 2 pounds of angel hair noodle that I boil, and it essentially will be the same for pasta noodles. Okay, next now we are ready to fry the noodles. Now to fry the noodles, I'm going to fry it in my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. I started with only a minimum amount of cooking oil. It's a little bit about 2 tablespoons, and I want to use as little oil as possible. But it is also important that you have to use enough oil so that the noodle will not stick to the bottom surface of the wok. For cooking in the stainless steel wok, it is important that I season the wok each session. So I'm going to season the wok using my spot seasoning method, and that usually works very well. Okay, once I am ready, I'm going to turn down the heat before I add the noodles to the wok, because you do not want the wok to be too hot. Now, the first step is that I'm going to turn the noodles over and over because the noodles tend to stick together. Now, of course, you can loosen them a little bit by microwave them, but I usually don't. I just use them directly from the refrigerator. And then by turning it, basically you allow the noodles, the part of the noodles that come into contact with the wok, to become heated, and that makes it easier to separate. Now, the Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok has an advantage, is that because it has a flat bottom surface area, so it provides more contact area. Now, as I'm turning it, I notice that if I do not have enough oil, I will put a little bit more oil, and I put my oil in a squeeze bottle. This will allow me to deposit the right amount of the oil that I want. Again, I want to minimize the amount of oil that I'm going to use. So at this point, it's essential, and this is one tip I want you to make sure you know, is that you want to continue to turn the noodles. If any noodles stick to the bottom of the wok, you can use the tongue to try to scrape them off. As you can see, some of them do become stick. The key is that if you keep turning them, it will prevent anything from stick too badly so that you will not be able to detach them. Right now, I add a little bit more oil. Again, have your oil bottle ready because you want to make sure that there's enough oil to coat as much noodles as you possibly can. As I turn it, and you probably notice that you will find spots of the noodles do not have oil. Now, any part of the noodles that do not have oil has two problems. One is that more likely they might stick. Another possibility is that they are more likely for them to burn. So at this point, I change it to my wok spatula. Now, as you all know, the wok spatula makes a very good scraper. So I'm going to use the wok spatula to scrape off anything that might have stick to the bottom of the wok. And this works extremely well. Again, you want to continue at this point to turn the noodles as much as possible so that the oil will be spread over the entire noodle. Now, if you let the noodle just sit, you're going to have problem. So I constantly make adjustments. Turning the noodles, I have to scrape them if necessary. But you notice that after I scrape it with the wok spatula the first time, now you look at it, there hardly anything stick to the bottom of the wok now. The reason is because I have added enough oil to able to coat most of the noodles. And by now, also the heat have kind of sealed in the noodles and that prevent them from sticking. Now, one thing which I would like to remind you is that storing the noodles in the refrigerator actually is really essential. The longer you store it, the better it is. Now, the pasta noodles usually have a shelf life for about 7 to 10 days. So usually if you use it about 5 to 7 days, you will probably be in really good shape. Now, I kind of skip ahead a little bit. Now, you notice that the noodle is frying very well. Part of the noodles start to become fried. As you can see that they start to turn brown. At this point, heat management is essential. You do not want the burner's heat to be too high because that will end up burning the noodles. And when that happens, they will burn to the bottom surface of the wok. And once the noodles get burned, they might become too crispy. And what you want is to not to have burnt noodles. You want noodles that are brown. And here it shows like the noodles doing really well. It's nice and brown. And more importantly is that nothing is stick to the bottom surface of the wok. Now, of course, there are a lot of personal preferences comes into this as well. What is the best fried noodles? In my personal experience, as well as my wife's experience, the best fried noodles is that there are some browning. You want the noodles to be partly fried, but at the same time, part of it is still relatively soft. It is the contrast between the softness and the hardness to give you the type of flavor that you're looking for. So next what I did is that I add some scallion, and whatever I have in the refrigerator, I have some ginger, I have some garlic, I grinded them up and I'm going to mix them together. And then I'm also going to season the noodles with some of my wok with tart basic seasoning mix. Now, all of this is really unnecessary depending on what you want to use the noodles for. If you want to use the noodle to eat it just the way it is, actually it's quite tasty the way it is, then you can season it like what I'm doing here. This will give the noodle some nice flavor. In this case, you can use the noodle as a side dish. However, a lot of time this noodle is used as part of another dish because the noodles, by cooking it separately, you can retain the texture of the noodles, and that crispiness is really what it makes nice. So in this case, I'm going to plate the noodles on a dish, and I'm going to put it as the foundation of the next dish that I'm going to cook. And by using this method, the key is that you will retain the texture of these fried noodles. And when this fried noodles is cooked perfectly, the texture is truly something highly desirable. Almost anybody who I have cooked this dish for, they really enjoy the texture of the noodles. And by cooking them separately, you're able to retain that texture. So you can look at it, this is a template. Now what I'm doing is that I'm going to combine two templates together. So this dish actually is a complex dish. I have three things going on. First of all, the noodles, and then I have some salmon, which I have pan fried. And then I stir fry a vegetable dish, which contains asparagus, zucchini, and portobello mushroom. And then this stir-fry dish has a sauce, so the sauce is going to go over the noodles and will provide the noodles a nice sauce. Now this is really important because by cooking all of them separately, you will be able to retain the texture, and you're going to have maximum control of the outcome of each component of the dish. Now this type of method is what I would call the advanced stir-fry technique. And by understanding the nature of your ingredients, the texture that you want, the flavor that you're looking for, you can control each part of the dish in an expert way. So in here, basically, you have three dishes combined together into one. Finally, just for garnishing the dish, I'm going to put some scallion, which this is the stem part of the scallion that will give the dish both a fresh look as well as some nice flavor. So as you can see, using my fast cooking system, you can create really complex dish. So if you would like to learn more about this cooking system, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. This system will help you to make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun, so that you will want to make home cooking as part of your daily routine. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.